My wife cheated. DNA test confirmed I'm not the father, so I sued her for paternity fraud. My wife, Sarah, and I had been together for over 10 years. We had built a life full of dreams and promises, 2 kids, a house, and everything that seemed perfect. But behind the scenes, everything was falling apart, and I had no idea. When we first met, we were so in love, or at least I thought we were. She was everything I ever wanted, beautiful, kind, and full of life. We had our ups and downs like any couple, but I believed there was nothing we couldn't fix. That's what I told myself every time we hit a rough patch. Things started to change after our second child was born. Our marriage went through a tough phase, and Sarah seemed distant. She was often distracted, on her phone late at night, texting more than usual, or working late without any real explanation. I brushed it off, thinking she was just trying to juggle the demands of motherhood, work, and everything else. But deep down, something felt off. One day, while Sarah was out with friends, her phone buzzed. A message popped up from a number I didn't recognize. It was flirtatious, followed by a picture that left no room for doubt. I stared at the screen in disbelief, my heart sinking. This was the moment everything changed. I confronted Sarah the next day. After a long silence, she confessed. She admitted to having an affair that had been going on for almost a year. My world was shattered. The woman I trusted more than anyone had betrayed me in the worst way imaginable. What made it even worse were the lies she had told me about our children. After discovering the affair, I couldn't shake the feeling that something else was wrong. Our second child, Lily, didn't quite look like me, and the nagging doubts became impossible to ignore. Her eyes, the shape of her face, something didn't add up. I asked Sarah if there was any possibility that Lily wasn't mine. She dismissed my concerns immediately, saying, "Of course she's yours." But I couldn't let it go. I needed the truth. I insisted on a DNA test, despite Sarah's protests. She was clearly unhappy, but I told her it was the only way I could move forward. After a lot of back and forth, she reluctantly agreed. Weeks later, the results arrived. When I opened the envelope, I wasn't prepared for what I saw. The DNA test confirmed my worst fear. Lily wasn't mine. I felt numb. My heart dropped, and the world around me blurred. I had poured so much love into a child that wasn't biologically mine. I had been her father in every sense of the word, but the truth changed everything. All those sleepless nights, birthday parties, and milestones, it felt like they meant nothing now. Sarah had not only cheated on me, but had lied about something as fundamental as paternity. I confronted her again, and this time, she didn't try to deny it. She admitted the affair hadn't just been a fling. It had been ongoing, and she had lied to cover up the truth. I was devastated, but I knew I couldn't let this go. I had been wronged, and she had to face the consequences of her actions. The next day, I filed a lawsuit for paternity fraud. This wasn't just about Lily. It was about holding Sarah accountable for the years of lies and betrayal. It wasn't easy. The legal battle was emotionally draining. Sarah fought hard, trying to paint me as overreacting, insisting that Lily still needed me and that I had no right to change anything. But I couldn't ignore the truth anymore. She had betrayed me, and I needed justice, for myself, for the trust that was shattered, and for the future I had been robbed of. As the case dragged on, I questioned everything. How could I have been so blind? Why didn't I see the signs earlier? I spent countless sleepless nights replaying every moment in my head. The trust one had given her, the love I had invested in our family, it all felt like a lie. Eventually, the judge ruled in my favor. It wasn't just a legal victory. It was a chance for me to reclaim my life. It was proof that I wouldn't allow myself to be manipulated or deceived anymore. But even with that victory, the damage was done. The emotional scars ran deep. I had lost a part of myself in the process, and while the legal battle was over, the healing was far from complete. I'm sharing this story not to vent my anger, but to warn others. Trust is fragile, and once it's broken, it can feel impossible to rebuild. But everyone deserves honesty, respect, and love. Don't let anyone take that from you, no matter how hard it is to face the truth. As for Sarah, our marriage ended. The legal battles and emotional toll were too much to bear. Now, I'm learning to rebuild my life, to move forward with the lessons I've learned. The pain of betrayal doesn't disappear, but it does get easier to manage with time. If you're going through something like this, know you're not alone. It's painful, it's heartbreaking, but you can survive it. You can rebuild, find peace, and come out stronger on the other side.